Hey guys, TheGamingGeek here. Welcome to Let's Talk Gaming. I haven't forgotten about it. Don't worry, we are bringing it back. This one has actually been a little bit of a pain to sort of figure out and to get around to sort of both of us being in the same place to do it. But say hello to this week's guest, which is LukeAkaNinja.
Hello.
How are you doing, Luke?
I'm not too bad. A little bit nervous, actually. I
Really?
don't know why. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been in front of the microphone properly, so...
It's understandable, it's understandable. Now, before we kick off, I just want to say to you guys watching the video, you're going to be seeing some gameplay in the background. This is going to be actually from my Race to Prestige series that I'm doing at the moment. So I thought rather than just do a normal live one of that, I'll throw some gameplay in of that so you can watch that and listen to some cool commentary at the same time. I haven't actually recorded it yet, but this is talking as if I had in the past. I'll just record it afterwards. Anyway, so first question. First gaming moment / sort of like first console. What's your sort of first experience in the gaming sort of world?
Well, I think the first experience would be the Game Boy Color. I was bought that from my parents for Christmas one year, and I had Pokemon Blue, and oh god, I can't even begin to describe how engrossed I got with Pokemon. It was...
Really?
It was a bit unhealthy looking back on it. I probably should have gone outside.
Yeah, most people say Pokemon, actually. It's probably the most common answer I get. So it's definitely interesting to see that most people sort of start off, especially because we're all around the same sort of age. I think everyone I've interviewed so far have been around the same sort of age, so we've all sort of grown up with the same sort of influences. So yeah, like me, Pokemon was a big thing for me. I used to play that game non-stop.
Yeah, still play it a little bit now, actually.
Yeah, I do from time to time. I'm going to be honest with you, I sort of lack on the Nintendo front now. Sort of recently, I've not really kept up with it very well. I've got a DS somewhere, wherever it is. I don't quite know. But yeah, I do sometimes go back and sort of... I get all nostalgic about it, and then I go back, and then what I find, though, is I enjoyed the older Pokemon games. Like, the newer ones with some of the Pokemon that are just a bit naff, the namings, and sort of all the new stuff they've added in. I don't know if I'm very much pro that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of find that there's double standards to it as well, because, for example, I'm not sure what generation it was, but there was a Pokemon made, and I think it was called Vanillux, and it was literally just like an ice cream cone, and people were just outraged by it. And then you actually look back to the first generation, when there's Pokemon such as Voltorb, which is literally just a Pokeball, and then there's Ditto, which is just like a ball of, like, gum, and people are strange.
I know, but like, for instance, I always refer back to this, but Thrubbish, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you there. It's...
Anyway, I don't want to start this off as a rant about Pokemon. Anyway, okay, so we know what got you into gaming, but then what made you go, do you know what, I want to start making gaming content. This is something I want to start doing. What was that real sort of eureka moment you went, yes, I've got to start doing this?
Gosh, that's... taking me back. I think it was actually RuneScape, because I played a lot of RuneScape back in the day, and of course, because it was played on the PC, then from that people just kind of were browsing YouTube and stuff, and then I guess somewhere along the line somebody thought, oh, I'll make a RuneScape video, and then somewhere along the line I thought that it would be a good idea if I did as well. So I don't know, I guess it was just kind of playing RuneScape and just seeing other people do it. It just looked cool, I guess.
Yeah, I know quite a few people that sort of did really get into RuneScape at the time. It sort of passed me by, sort of thing. I had sort of knew about it, but no one I knew very well was playing it, so I never sort of got pushed into it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I don't really get the whole thing, but I know a lot of people who definitely put a lot of hours into that game.
Yeah, definitely seems like the majority did put a lot of hours in. I think before I stopped playing, I checked like the status of my account, and I think I had like 400... It must have been, like, literally 400 days. Like, wow. I'm not even exaggerating right there.
Wow.
Me and my friends, we still do this now, actually, even though we're kind of a bit older, so, you know, it's different. But back then, we'd, like, actually just come over one of each other's houses. We'd order pizza, and we would just play RuneScape, like, from the time that, you know, my friend got here to the time that he went home. We would just play RuneScape, and we accumulated something like 18 hours.
Crazy.
And that was almost normal to us. And then looking back, I think, why wasn't I popular?
Yeah.
Kind of answers itself, I think.
Yeah, possibly. But you know, it's what we're all into and all that stuff. But yeah, that's a lot of hours, Jesus. So what, you started making RuneScape videos then for YouTube, or?
Yeah, I was into what was PKing, which was PvP, for those of you who don't know. And I was pretty good at the game considering the amount of time I put into it, so I kind of wanted to showcase that almost.
Okay.
I don't know, I just wanted to kind of show people how good I was.
Okay. So what sort of year are we talking about here? How far back are we going?
I'd say my first ever channel was probably about early 2009, I'd say.
Okay.
Around then.
Okay. That's going back a little bit. Yeah, I remember YouTube back in 2009 vaguely. A lot has changed since then. Geez.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, as you've sort of made clear, you've been around on YouTube for quite a while, so I'm sure you've got quite a lot to go through if I ask you this question. But if you can put your hand on something, anything that stands out to you, what would be your favorite gaming moment? It could be a favorite YouTube moment, or just general gaming moment. It could be anything like that.
I think it would be kind of hard to narrow it down to just one, because obviously, like you said, there's been, a lot of different experiences. But I think probably my favorite would be at the European Gaming League 11, which I competed at. I actually ended up facing against a team who I was rather friendly with, and one of the other people on the other team, his name is, his online alias anyway, was Saundy. And he spent the entire game shouting just insults at me. Just, oh gosh. The banter was incredible, and we just had like a crowd of people around us, and well, little did they know that we were both friends, but it was vicious. But looking back, that was definitely a highlight. That was a fun time.
God, yeah, that sounds like fun. I've never been involved in a tournament like that at all. Probably because I wouldn't be very good at it. I don't think I'd be very good at competitive Call of Duty. Not anymore. Not on Ghosts, especially. Jesus, that game. God, I don't know.
Yeah, I actually stopped playing competitive Call of Duty for that game. I couldn't hack it.
Yeah,
I really don't enjoy it.
No, like in my eyes, unless you can master sitting in the corner, I don't think you can master Call of Duty Ghosts. But anyway, all right, swiftly moving on. So, anyone that really sort of inspired you? Any sort of, you got an idol on YouTube? Anyone you look up to? Anyone that sort of motivates you, or anything like that?
This is probably going to sound terrible, but no,
That's fair enough.
I mean, I don't want to sound kind of obnoxious when I say this, but I kind of try to motivate myself. I try to do what I do just simply for my own reasons.
Yeah.
But obviously I've met quite a few people through it, and well, we actually have a mutual fan, don't we? So
we do indeed. Yeah. So I'm sure is watching right now. I wouldn't.
Yeah, and I'm sure she won't mind me mentioning her name, Helen. Obviously, like just people like her, I find that they're just a really big influence and very motivational to the whole YouTube thing. I mean, just having people who genuinely enjoy the content that you create.
No, I know, I definitely agree with you on that point. Yeah, when, people leave sort of comments, I really enjoyed that. Like, sometimes I'll get a message on my Facebook sort of page saying, I really enjoy Tim's videos, or things like that. And I'm just, even just that simple sentence actually means quite a lot. And it sort of makes me smile and go, oh, okay, I'm glad someone enjoyed it. I put the effort in. I did the live stream, put the video afterwards, and, people actually did enjoy it. So yes, it is always a really good thing. So yeah, I would agree with you on that point. Okay, so the next question, what is your most anticipated game? I know you've been quite out of touch with the gaming industry, as we discussed earlier, but what is there anything that stands out for me? Is there anything you're really looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd probably say it is the new Call of Duty game. Like we mentioned, Ghosts kind of was a bit of a flop and didn't live up to expectations, and I'd really like to be able to get back into competitive Call of Duty, so I'm hoping that Advanced Warfare can kind of, reignite that desire that I had for the previous games. Yeah,
I really am hoping that too. I mean, Ghost really sort of just shot it for me. So, yeah, I'm hoping that, that Sledgehammer Games can live up to what they're saying that they can do with it, because they've had this 3-year cycle. They've had 3 years to do it. It's the first company to ever, it's the first new company to ever do a Call of Duty. So it should be interesting. I mean, Dead Space was a good game, and I did some digging, and I found out they created, some of the old sort of James Bond games that I used to love and play religiously, like Everything or Nothing and things like that. And it's just like, okay.
You brought up another one. Was it Nightfire?
Nightfire.
Oh, I played that so much as well. Oh gosh, the nostalgia's kicking in now.
Yeah. So I mean, those are beloved games to me. So I'm hoping that they can do a good job with Advanced Warfare as well. Hopefully, but time will tell. Time will tell. So, okay, that's your most anticipated game. But where do you see gaming going in the next few years? What do you see the future? See the Oculus Rift sort of thing be in the future? Do you see it not changing very much? What do you sort of see the thing shifting? Because we've had motion gaming and now talked about Oculus Rift.
I'd say, like, as you just mentioned, the Oculus Rift, I mean, that's kind of what sprung to mind, but I'd say it's more for bad reasons rather than good. I find that so many people are focused on just getting bigger and better with everything. Like, I mean, for Titanfall, for example, it was like bigger guns, bigger mechs, bigger robots, bigger this, bigger that. And I'm kind of the opposite. I kind of miss gaming where it was just rather simple. Like, my favorite Call of Duty is always going to be Call of Duty 4.
Of course.
Just because it was simple. I have a gun, I shoot you, you have a gun, you shoot me. One of us is going to die, not one of us is going to drop to the floor with a martyrdom grenade, even though that was there, and stuff like that. So I don't know, I'm a bit skeptical about it, really. I hope that things don't go too crazy, but of course, I mean, change is change. I'm sure it'll happen.
I mean, I've been lucky enough to have a go at an Oculus Rift. I went at EGX Rezzed when I was up there a few months ago, and to be honest with you, that sort of put it into perspective for me. Like, it was one of the early development models, so it was sort of not full res, so you could see the pixels a bit. But just that whole being able to, like, it was like a demo of a noir game that these indie devs were doing, and being able to look around this sort of noir-type office room was really weird, because you could just literally, it was so accurate that you were starting to believe that you were in this world. Like, it was just so weird. And then, like, I love the way that you could look at an object and that would then bring up a prompt to interact with it. So in order to, like, pick up this box or pick up the phone, you had to sort of look towards it, and it knew what your eye was looking at, and then you could pick that up and stuff. It was really weird, but at the same time, I just absolutely loved it. And I think if that becomes, especially obviously we got with Sony doing their sort of rival to the Ouya, I don't know. I think maybe that if that's done really well, that it could be, although maybe an expensive investment at first, could be something that's really cool.
Do you think it has any sort of like novelty value? Could you see yourself playing it for extended periods of time?
That, I don't know. See, my main concern is, are the devs really going to take it serious enough? Is it going to be easy enough for the devs to make use of? Like, is it going to be something that barely any people are going to adopt, so therefore the devs aren't really going to adopt it properly? It's going to be like, sort of like a motion control Kinect thing where, it's got to the point where devs don't really want to make use of it. So, I mean, if that's the case, then obviously it's going to be a gimmick. But if it's adopted rightly, I think, it could be a cool thing. But it's really on how it's adopted, and, it's going to be crucial to how it succeeds. So there we are. So you think Ouya could be the thing, but you don't want it to be sort of too much. You'd rather gaming just stay the way it is with the controller. And
I guess, like I said, I'm just a bit skeptical in regards to change. I'm kind of happy with where gaming is at the moment, and I'm hoping it doesn't drift too far. But if it does, heck, I could love it. So I don't know. Okay.
So to wrap up, as you're sort of trying to refresh your channel and come back to it after all these time, basically I just want to know what's your plan for your channel. So for the people watching now, what sort of thing are you looking to do? Where are you looking to take it? What's your ideas?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I've always been rather competitive, and whatever game I've always played for a extended period of time. So on my channel, this is going to sound kind of bad, but I never really play anything for fun. It always has to be, pushed to the max.
Yeah.
Just really serious stuff. So, I mean, I guess there's a lot of emphasis on esports, League of Legends, Call of Duty, and other games like that. But then even when I do play what would be considered fun games like Minecraft, then I don't really do vanilla. I will do, like, say, a hardcore survival island and stuff like that. So it's always got kind of that competitive, hardcore twist to it.
Yeah. Okay. So you're probably going to stick to more the hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
And lots of bad language.
Lots of bad language. Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm kind of terrible for that. My channel isn't really family friendly, I guess.
There's a big warning on your videos, like warning, over 18 or whatever. Foul language is used. Watch at your own discretion. But yeah, thank you so much, Luke, for coming on Let's Talk Gaming. Hopefully you've enjoyed your time here.
Yep, I did, definitely.
Don't forget to go and check out his channel. The link will be in the description. It's really easy to remember. It's just youtube.com/LukeAkaNinja. Go and check out his channel. He's hoping to bring it back and sort of reimburse the videos that you once had. And I honestly wish you the best with that. And hopefully you can produce some awesome videos. Just a quick sort of like question for the video. If you guys leave it in the description, in the comments, maybe not in the description, in the comment section down below, I do want to know whether I should keep the name Let's Talk Gaming, or as I randomly sort of came up with a friend, and you sort of like, you should change your series to that, and I was like, maybe I will. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Should it be called Let's Talk Gaming, or should it be called Tea Talk? That's the question. We were making a cup of tea, and then we were just talking about the tea, and then I said it's Tea Talk, and then you said you could call your series that on the channel where you have chat with people. Anyway, long story short, Let's Talk Gaming or Tea Talk, you let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you on the next video. As always, drink tea and game on.